it's John McNamara, host of Running Vegas. We're talking local sports, business, real estate. If you guys would you like, subscribe, follow us on Running Vegas podcast. Okay, I got a special guest, Caitlin Duffy in the house.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Of course, love this.
So what have you been up for the last 9 months? We haven't seen you in the pod.
I know. I've been busy in such a good way. I feel like I have 15 jobs at the moment, which is awesome. Obviously, mortgage lending, VA loans, VA knowledge is like my main gig, 80% of what I do. But I've been pulled in some other directions. It's fun. I've been doing the whole public speaking gig, which is really cool. And then my auntie duties, which I realize, like, I roll my eyes as I say this. I love being an aunt, and I would like drop anything to like go and hang out with my nephews. So like all of a sudden I'm like following 12U football like it's my life. Like it's like the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like following his everything. And then baseball season, and you know, the 13-year-old is super into it. So like
Cool.
I used to always roll my eyes at like moms when they would only talk about their kids. And now my nephews are in sports, and I'm like, this is my entire life. Like, this is everything I do. So
I love it. I get it.
Yeah.
I have nephews, and I'm the same way. It's like whatever they're doing, I just think it's adorable.
Yeah.
And they're just, like attacking me all the time. And
yes.
I love it. It's good.
It's so much fun. This is the reason I moved to Vegas. And I enjoyed it when they were little, but now that they're like the preteen teenagers, the more they dislike their parents, the more they like me.
All right, let's start using that.
I'm really enjoying
You're the cool
it.
aunt.
I'm definitely the cool aunt. And even some
I
of
could
like,
see that though.
even some of like my besties' teenagers are like, they'll like text me stuff. They're like, don't tell my mom, but. And I love it so much. And I have like this like, there's certain things I'm like, I would never tell her that. And there's certain things I'll say like, no, I won't. But also, hey, did you know? Don't tell her I told you.
Right.
So it's fun. I love it. It's just, I'm having a really good year.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun to enjoy these. It's funny how life changes, but it's good stuff.
I know. If you had asked me 10 years ago if I would have enjoyed hanging out with 12 and 13-year-olds, I would have said absolutely not. And now they're like my favorite people ever.
Same.
So
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, since you haven't been on 9 months, but I
9
know you
months.
had a big public speaking event. Seems like this is a super passion of yours here in the future. So I want to hear about how it went.
Okay.
What you learned, what were the wins? Because I know you're excited about that.
Yes. So I have never been afraid of a stage. I don't get stage fright. I love public speaking. I love being in front of people. What's funny is I actually don't do well in like the small networking events.
Okay.
Like if you put me at a table at 4 people and I have to like give my elevator speech and like talk to people, I need tequila. But get me on a stage in front of 1,000 people, and it's my most comfortable I've ever been. I love it. I should have been an actress or theater or something. So I kind of fell into it. I was telling some friends a very heartfelt military story, and one of them said, you have to tell this story publicly. And so I hired a speech coach and worked on it and, you know, figured it all out. And I have now told that story 5 times publicly on stage at this point. And I have 4 more gigs coming up that are
Congrats.
similar. And it's all about just like perseverance, and most of it's military related. So I've spoken to like women in leadership of Metro and EMS and fire, and just how to overcome, you know, being a woman in a man's world, and leadership in when you're being pushed the hardest. So it's one of those, like, I would, like, bucket list, I want to do a TED Talk for sure. That is my bucket list. But I'm also not going to push it. I kind of want to see if that's what the universe wants for me and just see what falls in my lap. So I'm not going to hire an agent or anything like that. But things are just kind of coming into play as life goes on. And I mean, I have 1 a quarter for the next 6 quarters.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
How is it to be, like, obviously you have to be pretty vulnerable to reveal your story. Was that hard the first time you did it, or was it just like, I'm meant to tell this story?
I think the first time, I think it was very difficult to tell it in front of people that I knew. Is that weird? When I was in front of my friends, and then when my mom heard some of it for the first time, like, I couldn't keep it. She couldn't keep it together. I couldn't keep it together. It was a mess. So in front of people that I know in a small setting, it was very vulnerable, and I couldn't even get words out. Like, talk about ugly crying, I couldn't figure it out. But on stage, in front of strangers, all of a sudden, I almost like kind of become the persona of like, they need to hear this. And the more vulnerable you are, and the more detailed you are in even like the worst part of you. Like, I have told a stage of 1,000 people the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. And afterwards, the impact is 10 times what it would have been if I had held that piece back.
Interesting. Are we telling that on the pod? Or?
No. I'm not wearing waterproof mascara, so. Yeah, so it's very, the vulnerable is good. That is the part that people connect with, because everybody, not that like misery loves company, but everybody wants to know that somebody else has struggled with something similar.
Yeah.
So if you come on this pod every day and you're like, business is great, everything's fantastic, blah, 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 people aren't going to connect. If you come on and be like, I'm having the worst second quarter I've ever had, business is hard right now and buyers are non-existent and I'm struggling and I'm trying to figure out what's happening, people are going to watch that because they're like, all right, cool, what are you going to do?
That's what I like about you. You're very authentic, and it shows like with your social media brand, and you've done a really good job with it. I'm curious though. My ADHD is running here though. What was the speech coach? What was like the couple things you got out of that you? Because it seems like you're a natural. You speak well.
Thank you.
What were a couple of things that just?
The things that we worked on the most, Amy is her name. She's amazing. She's here in Las Vegas. If you ever want speech training, she's fantastic. She helped me mostly with my filler words. She said silence is better than anything. So even just reading my speech, I said my speech or my script multiple times digitally. And every single time she'd go and she goes, delete, you said and 47 times. You said 15 times. And I'm okay typically with the filler words. Like, I don't say all the time, but I have my own filler words. I'll say, well, so. She's like, well, why did you say those two words? Cut it all out. They only want to hear the facts. Don't say, well, however. Just be silent for a second and say, on July 4th. You don't need the build up. You don't need all of the filler. So that was a huge one. So whenever I'm writing scripts or reading scripts or listening to people, I've become the worst critic ever since coaching with her. Now I can't watch any podcasts or any stages or anything without counting the ums and counting the so's and be like, ooh, I figured out what their filler word was. Theirs is however. They say however every fourth line. It's because they're thinking.
And that's why scripts are so important, especially in real estate. And it's funny you said that, because I didn't have a speech coach or anything, but watching, I try to watch all of our pods. And that was one of the biggest things, because even just you and I talking, like, I want to affirm you all the time. It's just a natural thing when you and I are talking. But I have to be silent, because when you're talking and you see it on the pod, and you hear John going, yep, great, whatever it is, right?
Yes.
It's annoying.
As salespeople, it is very difficult for us to be silent. I have noticed that I do most of my stuff on the phone. So I put my phone on speaker and I usually set it on my desk because it gives me like my full attention. And I'll be listening, and I always tell my buyers, like, all right, give me the whole story, every detail, the whole thing, just like give everything that's going on right now. You don't hold anything back. I want to know all the details. And I'll just let them talk. And I'll be like, and this is before a pre-approval. This is like the pre-qualification. And I let them talk. And I realized that I used to say stuff like, oh, great, cool, perfect. Oh, and I was just trying to be positive the whole time to like not. And sometimes I'd say, oh, that's awesome, right after they said, well, then I had a bankruptcy 3 years ago. And I was like, that's not, like, but it was just my brain trying to fill in the silences.
We've all done that.
As soon as I realized I just needed to shut up, I got more out of the buyers, because they would be silent for a second, and then I would be silent for a second, and they call that like an awkward silence. It's only awkward if you make it. Yeah. If you just sit nicely and say nothing, they will keep telling you more things. Maybe that's what therapists do. I don't know. If I just stay silent, then all of a sudden I'll get out, well, what we really want is in 2 years, and then I get like the bigger picture and I can actually help them. Yeah. So, but as salespeople, it's hard. Like you want to jump in.
I want to repeat and improve, but yeah, first one speaks, loses, right? Yes. And there's so many times you've had this moment where you just sit there, you shut up, and they close themselves on the deal. Yeah. It's the most amazing thing. And they're sitting there, you didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything. Yeah, a lot of times I will say nothing, and they'll be like, yeah, so I really think that maybe next month is the best time to buy. Should I get pre-approved now? I'm like,
Yeah.
That's like, I said no words. I didn't have to sell you. You told your story. You put the pieces together, and yes, we should get pre-approved.
Sell themselves.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly. It's great.
So, well, congrats on all your speaking here in the future. Excited for you.
I'm excited.
We'll get a little bit of real estate. It's kind of interesting. I was thinking about coming on this pod. I feel like you're like the last person I've kind of talked real estate on this pod.
Okay.
And the premise of this show was real estate. We've kind of gone away from it, doing more sports, entrepreneurs. You're obviously an entrepreneur, but yeah, we've gone away from real estate, and there's a lot going on in the real estate world right now. So I want to take this time, because you're an expert at what you do in lending, and kind of give what you're seeing out there, any predictions you have, what you would recommend to buyers right now, so we can help some folks out.
Yeah. The market is the weirdest I want to say the weirdest it's ever been, but I've been saying that every 3 months for like 3 years. It is very unpredictable, and it has been since 2023. Everything we hear, it does the opposite. And I have 2 or 3 experts that I follow regularly, and they used to always say kind of the same thing. Like they were, it's like listening to 3 coaches. They're kind of going to say the same thing with, a different impact. For the last couple of years, and especially the last 6 months, everything they're saying is opposite of each other. So it's just a crystal ball at this point. We have no idea. We don't know what's going on with the Fed, which is not a direct correlation to mortgage lending, but also it does kind of fall in line historically. The 10-year Treasury is a mess, and it's just nothing's happening the way that anybody thought it was going to happen. So I don't know, I don't even know how to answer your question. So for me, that's been studying the market for 10 years, I don't know.
I love it. You're honest.
I don't know. That's my
I
authentic.
feel the same way.
And anybody that says that they know, they're bullshitting you.
Yeah.
They are lying. Nobody knows.
Sure. Nobody,
Yeah, I can tell you what I think is going to happen in the Treasury, and I can tell you what I think might happen in the world that might affect mortgage rates, but I don't know what's actually going to happen with the rates or the inventory. I mean, the inventory is insane right now.
It's interesting. It's actually going down.
Yes. So I think that everybody's trying to predict the market. Nobody's trying to live in the now. Nobody's trying to live what should I do today? Everyone's trying to say, buyers and sellers and realtors are saying, well, what's going to happen in 3 months? Well, what's going to happen in 3 months? And they're making their decision based on a crystal ball of what's going to happen in 3 months, instead of just doing right now what's good for them. So because we all thought rates were going to go down, and we had that 48-hour real estate boom in January where they did go down, and our market exploded. It was great, which is why we all had a great first quarter. You had a good first quarter?
Yes.
Yes, because we had this blip of optimism in January, and then everything boomed. Well, then, politics happen and wars happen, and, whether it's Ukraine or Iran or whatever, something happened. And everybody thought, oh, well, in 3 months, something bad's going to happen. So everybody tightened up again. The sellers tightened up. They won't negotiate. Sellers pulled their houses off the market for absolutely no reason, just because they thought it was good. So inventory's down. And buyers were like, well, I thought it was a good time to buy, but I changed my mind. And everybody just kind of froze, thinking of what's going to happen in 3 months. Not, I should buy a house now because I need a house. So it's hard because everybody's trying to predict it instead of just living in the now. Yeah. Which is frustrating. I don't know.
Yeah, it is frustrating for us, but you and I have seen it so many times. Pandemic, that happened for a while, and then it blew up, and we saw with the tariffs last year. And yeah, it's an interesting time. So if things work themselves out, maybe we can still have a good second half of the year. But what I would say, would you say it's still a good time to buy long term?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And this is I actually have a video I recorded this morning that I'm going to post, and I have a 5-segment recording. But the biggest problem is everybody's trying to be an expert real estate investor. So if you are buying your 3rd, 4th, 5th house, or you're doing a DSCR for an investment, and you are in the game, you've owned your starter home and you're moving on, cool, play the market. I play the market as an investor. I want to buy my 6th house right now, and I'm trying to see, I'm playing it, right? The problem is that these young Gen Z families and couples and individuals are trying to play the market as if they're investors, when really they're just first-time home buyers. And the biggest thing that they need to realize is stop acting like an investor. And like your starter home is a tool. It is a way to get in the game, build equity, build wealth, sell, and then buy the next home. So it doesn't matter. The first home you buy shouldn't matter. Like, it's just to get in the game. It's like playing double dutch. You just got to jump in. Right? If you want to be an expert and play the market, sure, on your 5th, 6th house, do that. Your 1st or 2nd house, just if that's the home for you and you can afford the payment, buy it. That is it. Because that's it. If you can afford it and that's the house you like, buy it. Because in 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to have more equity than you ever could have saved on your own.
For sure.
And I'd rather pay 7% than 100%. Like, I'm not going to pay a landlord ever again. Yeah. So.
Well, it's interesting. The rental market I've never seen the rental market as slow as it is today.
I don't know anything about the rental market.
I think it's worse than resale. It's crazy.
Oh.
But it is interesting because even we're talking rates, right? I mean, they got as high as 8 and they're a little, under 6.5 right now, give or take. I know
lower
they move
6s.
all the time.
Yeah, lower 6s.
But I've never seen that in last year, like the median sales price home, it seems like they're almost sitting longer, or buyers are taking longer than the higher price ranges, which I've never seen
fly off the market
in my career. So it is interesting because I think it's a lot of folks just going out. They don't want to. Everybody's saying the market's bad, and they're not making moves because they don't want maybe seem silly in front of their family or friends or whatever. But it does make a lot of sense to be getting it out there right now because you can get some great deals.
Right.
If sellers have their home on the market right now, they're motivated.
Correct. Yes. So because the inventory is not that high, but the inventory to buyers ratio is high. We keep saying this is a buyer's market with no buyers. Like you could get whatever you want. The contracts that come across my desk, I have never seen so many concessions. They're going under sales price with all the closing costs and buying the points down. It's crazy because, right, it is a buyer's market. Yeah. There just aren't any buyers to buy any of the homes. I just feel like there's so many people trying to play, like I said, play the game. Like the sellers that are selling, they need to sell. So if I could afford to buy right now in my situation as a primary, 1,000,000 times I would buy right now. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. You get some really good deals out there that I think long-term are going to be, because these things are going to get resolved. Again, we don't know the crystal ball. It could be a month, it could be a year from now, whatever. But they're going to get resolved eventually.
Well, I've been in the industry since 2013, so not forever. But from 13 until now, we went from 13 to 17 was actually pretty even, at least where I was right outside of a military base at Fort Bragg, so it was pretty even. 19, it became terrible because rates got to 4.25%, and I laugh thinking about that because I remember rates went over 4, and buyers were like, this is ridiculous, we're never going to buy at that rate. And so it became more of a seller's market, and then COVID happened. So 19 went up, and then 20, so I've seen the flip-flop a couple times. So in my head, I'm like, just wait, stick around, just wait it out. If you have to sell, sell. If you have to buy, buy. In 3 years, it's gonna flip. Yeah. So the only person that it sucks for is the person that had to buy high and then sell low. But that's just timing. Jobs happen, change. Life happens. You have more kids. Your kids move out, and that's just the market.
Yeah, and if you're looking long term, to purchase makes a lot of sense. And also, if you bought in Vegas in the last 10 years, you're doing regardless. It's funny how people forget that because most of the sellers right now, they have actually a lot of equity. Yeah. And they're fighting over maybe $20,000, $40,000, but they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity.
Yes.
So there is actually a lot of opportunity on both sides.
Yes. I've had more HELOCs in the last 8 to 9 months than I've ever had. So a HELOC is a home equity line of credit, and I'm marketing more to the
HELOCs are great.
Yeah,
everybody should have HELOC in all their homes.
Yeah, the east side right now, I'm marketing to them that market because most of them, their average purchase date was 2013. This is not Summerlin where lots of people bought in 2018 to 22. These are people that have bought 10, 15 years ago. and they're in their home, but they probably have kids going to college and credit card debt and all that. My HELOCs are out of control because they bought their home for $200. It's now worth $700. They don't want to sell. They're in their home. Like that is their third home. It's their retirement. But they need to do all of the things that life needs. And so people are pulling equity out of their house, not dangerously, not like 2007, 2008, because we have a lot more regulation and control over it. We're not letting people overspend. But like HELOCs are out of control right now because people have so much equity. It's ridiculous.
I recommend it. Yeah, if you're interested in a HELOC, hit Caitlin up because even if you don't need it, go get them because you don't have to use the equity out of your home. It's just if you have a rainy day, which you never know, HELOCs are phenomenal versus putting on a credit card when things go bad.
Correct, yes. Yeah, if you're going to pay 23% on your credit card, let's say your sewer goes out or you need a new HVAC, we're about to pay that time, right? HVACs cost like what, $13,000, $15,000? You don't want to put that on a credit card and slowly pay it off at 23% interest rate. If you already had a HELOC for 80 grand and it was just sitting, you're not using it, it's not spending, but the interest rate's 9% for what you use. Wouldn't it be great to pull that 15 out, spend it, only pay 9%, try and pay it back as fast as possible, and then it's sitting there ready for you to use? Like, I don't think people realize it's like a non-usable credit card that just sits there. If you have the equity, everybody should have that. It's just a great emergency fund where you're not paying the bank's interest rates.
For sure. And worst case scenario, if you can't pay it off, when you go to sell the house, you pay it off when you go to sell.
Yeah,
so
when
it's
you
not like
sell.
a credit card where you get in this mode of, no, it's a phenomenal tool, financial tool.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
So I'm glad you brought that up. All right, let's have a little fun though. Out of real estate, because real estate hasn't been too fun lately. But I only got you for another 8 minutes.
Okay.
I thought you went on the Gold Spike hike. Checking you out on social media, getting ready for this pod.
Yeah.
But apparently you didn't go on the hike.
I did not.
So tell me the story.
Okay, so this is the second time I've done this, and it's so much fun. Okay, so I like outdoor stuff, and living in Las Vegas, we have access to so much outdoor activity people don't even realize. Like, we do like snowboarding at Lee Canyon, we do Red Rock, we do Lake Mead, Willow Beach, hidden spot. It's on the Colorado River. So yesterday I went out with Adventure Child is the name of the company, so that's my plug, Adventure Child Lenny. And Lenny is a friend of mine for since I moved to Vegas. They are one of the only maybe 6 companies that have licenses with Lake Mead recreation, like with the back end of it. So what we did is there was a group of just friends. It wasn't any strangers. It wasn't a tourist thing. It was just a bunch of us buddies. We met at Hoover Dam, like at the Boulder station that's right there, and at 5 a.m. It was an early morning. And we dropped in kayaks at Hoover Dam, which you have to have a license to do. Even if you go in at Willow Beach or anything like that, you can't kayak that high, you can't boat that high, you have to have a license to go close to the dam. So we got to drop in at the dam. There was 10 of us, and we kayaked from Hoover Dam all the way to Willow Beach, which is 12 miles. 12 miles if you kayak directly.
You're with the current though, right?
So you're with the current, but it's not what you think. Like, in my head, I'm like, if you just sat there and didn't do anything, you'd eventually make it. You wouldn't. Like, it's so weird. The current flows under, almost like a riptide, and the top either goes backwards, it almost works in a circle. So on kayak, you have to paddle hard.
Yeah.
I am very sore today. I am, my traps and my
it's a lot.
delts
I did it. Gosh, I think our team did it 5 years ago, and it's a workout because you're you don't want to get left behind.
Yeah,
and you're going.
Yeah, I'm talking I am kayaking hard. I'm a gym girl. I work out, but I'm kayaking hard. For 9 miles I kayaked. Plus we stopped 5 or 6 times, but 4 of the times we hiked up. So we did. We went we went all the way up to all of the hot springs. So we did Boy Scout hot springs, we did Memorial hot springs, we did Arizona hot springs, and we saw one of the times was an hour, and we hiked 3 miles up and 3 miles back. So we went to every single hot spring along the entire Colorado River on both the Nevada and Arizona side, and we went back and forth. And then finally hit Emerald Canyon, and then Emerald Cave, and then down to Willow Beach. So it was a 13-hour day of nonstop. It was so much fun. It's so pretty. It's the second time I've done it, and it's just I remember yesterday, it was probably mid-morning, and we were kayaking through, and some of the times you're all together and you're like chatting and BSing and stuff, and then some of the times everyone's just silent. And I had a minute of like a meditation where I'm like, we're just in this canyon, and it's probably 200 feet up, and the water is crystal emerald, basically, and it's so pretty. And I just remember thinking, there are people in the world that will never see something as beautiful as this. It's there are just no words. It was breathtaking for sure.
Yeah, I love it in there. Have you actually ever done the hike? I mean, not what you did going up, but from the start.
I've done the Arizona hot springs, so from the Arizona side down. I have never done the Nevada side, where I came down to Gold Spike.
It's tough. You'd be fine. But our team and I, we did this one time, and we got to the bottom, and Mr. George sprained his foot at the bottom.
And then had to make his way back up?
It took us over 4 hours.
Oh, no.
I'll say this, that we went to town. It was the best beers and chicken wings I've ever had in my life. This man refused to give up. But yeah, usually, I'm trying to remember, I think it takes about 90 minutes to get down one way.
And then,
yeah, but it's easy to get down. It's going up, which is hard. And
right.
We saw a kayak group, and we're like, maybe we go to the kayak. He's like, I'm not doing that. We all just...
Oh, no.
For 4 hours.
Yeah.
Thank God we had supplies. So if you ever do Gold Spike, it's really cool. Bring water, bring snacks.
So much water.
It's not... Because back in the day, I used to never bring anything to hike all the time. And there's something about... And like you said, it's gorgeous in there.
Yeah.
But it's a little scary because the heat gets trapped in there.
Correct. It gets like very humid. Definitely.
You get dehydrated very quickly.
And you get dehydrated quickly, exactly. Yeah, there was, when we hit, I want to say it was Boy Scout hot springs that we hit, and we went up, and it's one of the ones you have to use the rope and you have to climb up waterfalls, and there's 10 of us, so we're climbing up and like trying to help each other, and it was, that's probably my favorite part, is like climbing up the waterfalls. I love that. You go up, and we got maybe like a mile in, and we saw other people coming towards us, and we're like, oh, how much further? And they're like, oh no, we parked and we were in 2 miles, and we're like, oh, we're in a mile, but we came from the water, so it's almost like we're meeting up. Yeah. And they had said, they're like, well, it's easy coming down. I was like, well, what we just did was not easy, so be prepared, because when you hit the water and you decide you want to go home, climbing up those you'd think going down the waterfalls it is scarier because you're like rappelling.
Yeah. I don't like to rappel either.
I love to
heights.
Oh. So
look.
You won't go skydiving with me?
Oh, I've skydived before.
But you're okay, so you're not that scared of heights.
Well, yeah. Ideally, I don't want to do it.
Do you want to go rappelling off the stratosphere?
Not really.
Will you go rappelling off the stratosphere? Oh God. Come on, John.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. That's a challenge. That is my that's my second quarter challenge, to get John and George to go rappelling off the stratosphere.
Oh God, I would hate it. But...
You're gonna love it.
All right, let's talk a little football. All right, I know we got some time.
We have a minute.
But a lot has happened to the Dallas Cowboys in the since we have not seen. So how do we feel about the Michael Parsons trade?
I would be a ruthless owner if I was an NFL owner.
Oh, so you were for it?
Yeah. If you want to act like a diva and you want more money, go somewhere else. I think that his position, so like a defensive end or even a running back, like the whole Zeke thing, I loved him. I have his jersey. I love Zeke Elliott. Fucking trade him. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I think that those positions, they peak at a certain age. They peak at a certain year. So if you're going to be a defensive end or a running back... Prime. Yeah, I want you with the best of the best. I'm going to draft you. I'm going to keep you for 4 years. I'm going to get the best out of you. If you don't get us a Super Bowl when your rookie contract is up and you want more money, let somebody else pay him some more money. I'm going to go draft the next best thing. You're not going to peak at 27, bro. Like, it's not, that is life. And I realize
I like this take.
Yeah, I don't
Usually everybody was crying about it, so I thought it was going to be a whole different take.
No, I like absolutely. This. I have zero empathy for millionaires that are crying about moving.
Don't tell our buyers that, though, okay?
Well, so here's the thing. I have military buyers that move every 3 years. They have to move their family. They have to change their kids' sports programs. They have to change their kids' schools. They have to go through everything that these bratty NFL players have to move in my family. Yeah, so the military, take off 4 zeros off your paycheck. They still do it every 3 years. You could do it. It's fine. Yeah. I get it's probably stressful, but I treat it more like fantasy football. They're not real people to me.
Yeah. I
get rid of them. As soon as they want their big contract, let them go.
That defense was so bad, I don't think it would have mattered either way. I do believe you keep your best players, but it sounds like there's a lot of off-the-screen things going on.
If they are a leadership role...
Doesn't sound like he was.
Correct. Yeah. If you off the field are making an impact on the team, if you are great in the locker room and you're great at leadership and you're great at like the fitness stuff and you're great at like the mentoring the young guys and you're good at your job, great, keep them and pay them. If you're just good at your job and you don't have any of the other things, we'll draft somebody new. Like if you're just good at the game, it's a game that 7-year-olds play. If you're just the best at that, let somebody else pay you. I want you to be the best at that and be the best man and husband and father and mentor and leader and all of the other things. Those people we should pay and keep because that's who's going to train our next generation of Cowboys. And I also think that Cowboys fans collectively need a lot of therapy.
Yes, you guys are fun. Or draft Ohio State Caleb Downs.
I love Ohio State. And I'm the best player in the draft, hands down. And I'm not saying it's our year because I'm sure that in January and December I'm going to be eating my words and I'll be crying. January is the most depressing month for a Cowboys fan for sure. But best player in the draft, and we did all defense. All I want is good football. I want my fall to be really, really good Cowboys football. And then come January, I am used to being disappointed. It's been 20 years, and I will be okay. That is when I focus more on Morgan's life.
It's just football.
It's just football.
But we're going to wrap this up. Yes. Thank you, Caitlin, for being on.
Of course.
Guys, you're looking for a HELOC loan. Caitlin's your gal. Guys, we're on Vegas. Take care of yourselves today.
Bye.